Alright, welcome back to More Than Peaches Gaming. I'm your host, Mune. And here we are with a very interesting concept. So first off, what's the big deal? I've been playing this game for since day two. And I always say day two because day one, it was late, I tried to download the game, and it took forever to download it because they capped how quickly you could do it. I probably should have downloaded it much sooner, but I didn't hear about it until the day of release. So, um, big things about this game. One of the goals that I always had was beating the Spiral Abyss. So this is literally the hardest content in the game currently. And not just that, but like I wanted to do more than just beat the game, okay, or beat the Spiral Abyss. I wanted to max out my stars, okay. I beat Spiral Abyss a while back, originally. I think it's been more than a year. I beat it on a few occasions, but I was never able to get like 36 stars until, well, yesterday. Um, and I was playing with a very basic team. I'm going to show you my setup, and then we're going to actually go in. I actually did some adjustments to my team since I actually started, and I'll note where those are. So first off, this is my Raiden, level 90. Uh, weapon she's using is a level 90 Dragon's Bane. It's also R5. Artifacts. We're using Flower of Paradise Lost 4-piece set. Uh, Give me one second. I'm just kind of looking to see where it put me. Okay, so it put me in my Sands. Um, Again, I'm using an Elemental Mastery Goblet for this, and I'm just using an Elemental Mastery Circlet out of set because, yeah, you all know exactly how hard it is to get these damn things. Um, but so it's an Elemental Mastery build. I have some really good pieces. I got incredibly lucky. Constellation 3. So this is really important for me. I went for Constellation 3 because I like using Raiden. I don't recommend it for everybody, but that's what I did. Okay, I maxed out all of her talents, uh, so I can actually do a lot more damage. I used to have her on attack based, but I switched her to EM because, well, reasons. Alright, so overall her elemental mastery is 967. Pretty decent. She has like 20,000 health. Not really big on attack. She's got an okay defense. Next is Zhongli.
Osmanthus
Yes,
wine
yes, yes.
tastes the same as I remember.
Black Tassle for a weapon, because I'm just using him as a shielder. Artifacts are the tenacity of Millelith. Obviously, we're all just focusing on HP. That's all we care about. Constellation is 2. I grabbed it so that it can have the extra shield power with his burst and have another use of his skill. Talents, you can kind of already see how it lines up. Gonna get mostly the shield going, and then the burst at 9. So let's go ahead and take a look at Furina. Oh, hold up. Zhongli was 55,000 HP. Okay, so that's kind of a big thing. Furina, not high in Elemental Mastery or anything in particular. She's kind of just an applier. She's using a Festering Desire. I'm so sorry if anybody's looking at this build and saying, hey, why aren't you using some other weapon that's a little bit more accessible? Because this is from an event that happened ages ago. Um, I could be using something else. I do have plenty of options. Uh, like I could just go and use any of like a Favonious sword, or I sacrificial sword doesn't do anything for this. So yeah, your next best choice is probably Favonious in this case, because nothing else is really going to give you the energy recharge that you need, and that's all I need it for. Artifact wise, Golden Troupe. Uh, the emphasis here, I believe, is with HP and a Hydro damage bonus. So nothing special. C2. I don't remember why I grabbed C2. I think it was because her burst boost. And then the skill and burst are at 10. So this is one of the first changes I actually made when changing it up is I did upgrade her burst and skill from 9 to 10 since I cleared it. So overall, 38,000 HP. She is a little tanky. Alright, next up is Nahida. Nahida's got about 22,000 HP. She's really good at her EM, so that's where we're really trying to focus. Weapon, we have Prototype Amber, because I need health. It's kind of a DPS cut, but survivability is more important than dealing damage. Alright, for the artifacts, we're using the Deepwood Memories set with focus on EM. Constellation, 0. Skills, all at 10. This was an upgrade from previous. Previously, they were all at 9. So, not doing me a whole lot of good here. Okay. Gonna have Kazuha, level 90, obviously. A little bit of a focus on Elemental Master, but not a whole lot. Weapon is Favonious Sword. Again, R5. Artifacts, Viridescent Venerer set. I'm going to be honest with you, this is not my best allotment of this set, but it is definitely up there as being one of the best. I thought about switching this out, but I like how this worked last time, so I don't really want to change a whole lot. So, Constellation 0. I would like to have more constellations, but whatever. And then skill and burst. Skills at 9, burst is at 10. This is another character I increased from 9 to 10 for the burst after I already cleared it with the 36 stars. Alright. Next up, I believe they're further down for the units I used. I used Kuki. Let's go ahead and start from the top. 25,000 HP, 949 Elemental Mastery. Weapon is Toukabou Shigure, R5. Artifacts, Flower of Paradise Lost, with an EM build. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, getting this set was incredibly terrible, and I must have been super unlucky. Because when I was trying to get the fourth piece, it had to be either the circlet or the goblet, and I just need EM for the main stat. And I ran through, I think it was close to 70 fragile resin, and then probably close to about a week of regular resin and a transient resin. Trying to get the damn thing. Trying to get one. Just any one. So I ended up having to settle with this. Okay? It's not great, but it's also not terrible. So that's why I went with. Constellation 1. I don't really pull for her. I thought she was a terrible character when she came out. I still don't think that she's an incredibly great character. She fits well with Furina, but yeah. Talents, 8, 7. I'll just be honest with you. This was upgraded one level, and the reason being is I can never get enough of these damn spectral pieces. I don't go out and farm them. Like, they're not abundant enough, and they're not in my way enough. So, not really all that useful. Alright, brings me into my next character, Yaoyao. So, Yaoyao, level 90. Focused on EM a bit, as well as HP. Weapon, Dragon's Bane. R5. Alright, artifacts. I believe this is the Deepwood Memory set. With a focus, kind of energy recharge, dendro, damage bonus, and elemental mastery. So kind of a little bit all over the place. C0. I would love to have her at a higher constellation, but no such luck. And then talents, 8, 10, 10. Before I did this, her skill and burst were at 9. So I just upgraded him to 10. And then I believe the final unit on my team will be Klee. So Klee, I'm going to make a slight adjustment here. I'm actually going to level her up while we're talking. I mean, she's like so close. Yeah, she's this close. Yep. She becomes level 90. She was 89 before when I cleared it. So, weapon, Dodoco Tails. This is an event weapon. You can't get any more. I don't know what else to tell you if you don't have it. Choose something else. If you have the Oathsworn Eye, you probably get away with that. But as you can kind of see, there's a big difference on attack percentage here. Uh, Otherwise, maybe an Eye of Perception or some other 5-star. I mean, yeah. Uh, I would not suggest anything other than an attack-based one or just a high attack base. I don't recommend anything like with energy recharge because honestly, I'm not going to be using her burst super often. Mainly because she has to be on field for it to work and continue to work, which kind of sucks. All right. All right. Artifacts. So we have a 2-piece Gladiators, 2-piece Crimson Witch of Flames, and we're focusing basically on EM and some crit. So, Constellation, 0. I wish I could get her to C4 because that would be a lot of fun, but no such luck. And then Burst, I did, or not Burst, I can't even talk. Skills, her talents, I went ahead and increased her normal attack from 9 to 10. So that should play a lot more role here. I don't have enough to increase the others really because I just don't have enough things, and I don't see value in increasing this because it goes up by like 4%. Not even 4%, it's like 3.2%. Anyway, Klee is fun to use, but yeah, I believe that's what I have for the teams. So we're going to jump in, see how well we can do. I'm going to make a few notes along the way about this play, is that it might take me a few tries because things don't always work out the way I want. So top half, I'm going to use Raiden with Yaoyao, and then having a moment who my team is, Kuki and Nahida. On the bottom half, because we have Squishy Klee, we have Klee with the shield. And then Furina and Kazuha. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't really care about the stars on the lower floors. That's why we're doing this. Our big concern is going to be Chamber 3, dealing with the Tulpa, and, well, Tulpa eats up probably the most amount of time and is where I will probably fail the most. But the second half is a joke. I just rip it apart, which is great. So it just takes about a minute. So again, I feel like this is different each day because I don't remember this being character attack. So we're gonna go ahead and increase healing. Why not? Because this was not what it was yesterday.
Shine down. Don't be scared. Stand with me. Just leave her a little.
Give it a second.
Sharing my knowledge. Out of my way. Illusion shattered.
So this is mainly just spread. I don't care how many stars I get here.
The Temple of Wisdom. This way.
Stand still. Okay. I got lucky, I did not get the terrible one.
Sharing my knowledge. Everyone hold hands.
Freaking hate this thing.
Sit with me. You Glade, you're up. Go get it, you Glade. Oh, settle this. This way, Furina. The Temple of Wisdom.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
Yeah, this just takes way too long to deal with this thing.
I see everything. There is no escape. Sharing my knowledge.
Get her skill up a lot.
Don't be scared. Everyone hold hands.
Okay. So that's done.
Make yourselves at home. Now you shall perish.
If unlucky, I'll have to go through 2 of these phases where quite literally puts himself together.
Illusion shattered. You Glade, you're up. Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom. Be terrified. Shine down. Torn to oblivion. Make yourselves at home. Go get it, you Glade. Stay put. Out of my way. Illusion shattered. This way, Furina. Now you shall perish. Shine down. You Glade, you're up.
Okay, so now I'm back to this crap. Yay, got the shielder.
Grow, grow, grow. Sharing my knowledge. Be terrified. Go away. Illusion shattered. I see everything.
Quit interrupting me. Wow.
The Temple of Wisdom. Shine down. This way. Don't be scared. Sharing my knowledge. Bond is strong. There is no escape.
Alright, that should take care of all those.
I'll settle this. Torn to oblivion.
Yeah, I think it normally with this team takes like half my time. The other side is a little bit better, not much. Gets clear.
Stabilize.
Dumpy, dumpy, dumpy.
The wind knows me. One with wind and cloud.
Let the world fly.
This is order.
Sparks and swirl. Boing, boing, boom.
One with nature. Tip the clouds high. The birds.
Always have to make sure I have the damn thing. Give me a second. I need to switch back to Furina.
Strike a pose.
Having the additional damage that does stuff is important. Ow.
Gather.
Okay.
Time to shine.
Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Where'd he go? Freaking hate that. Get back here.
Order guide you.
Boing, boing, boom. Where's the light?
One with nature.
Stabilize.
This is probably the best way to deal with this, is just run around. Alright, so I was not expecting that. So we have to retry. I did not realize I didn't have a shield. Oops. So mistakes do happen. Problem is that when you die, you have to do it all over again. It sucks.
Stay put. Get with me. Out of my way. This way for you. The Temple of Wisdom. Inazuma shines eternal. Ha. 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 Sharing my knowledge. You play. You're up. A bond is strong. Ha. Don't get you. Shine down. Terrified. Get with me. Make yourself at home. Committed to memory.
And again, it is... Wow.
Illusion shattered. Ready, go! The Temple of Wisdom. There is no escape. Now you shall perish. Ha! 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 Shine down. This way for you. Out of my way. Don't be scared. Share my knowledge. Illusion shattered. Go away. Inazuma shines eternal.
Oh, that's perfect.
The Temple of Wisdom. I see stars. Yeah, grow. The bond is strong. Terrified. You play. You're up. Ha! Don't get it, you. This way for you, make yourselves at home. Shine down. This way. Don't be scared. Torn to oblivion. Ha! Ha!
Okay, got lucky.
There is no escape. The Temple of Wisdom. Out of my way. Go away. Grow. The bond is strong. You play. You're up. Shine down.
Holding on to my burst if I can. Come on, quit running away from me.
Make yourselves at home. Inazuma shines eternal. This way for you. Don't be scared. Terrified. The bond is strong. The Temple of Wisdom.
Okay, so I died while taking off. Did a little bit better on time there. But here I need to watch my...
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Time to shine.
I will have order.
very tanky shield.
The wind knows me.
Shower me with praise.
Half health is about where I'm always going to be, which is fine.
Solidify.
Jumpy, jumpy, jump.
One with nature. Clouds high. The bird into the wind.
This is order.
La la la.
Stabilize.
One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn.
Okay, almost there. Just have to stay alive long enough. Really? Okay. So that one's done. Okay. Continuing on to the next floor. We picked character healing effectiveness up. We're going to take a character elemental damage.
There is no escape. You play. This way. Roll, roll, roll.
So this one's going to be kind of more of a pain Firkin to do because
Make yourselves a room.
the spinning body is kind of annoying. Ah.
Stay put. Go get you. Sit with me. Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom.
This just takes a minute to kill.
This way turn a little.
This one's actually kind of tedious.
This way. Out of my way. Now you shall perish. Illusion shattered. Ready? Go! Make yourselves a room.
Okay, so that's finally done. Okay.
Everyone hold hands.
Not the character I wanted to frickin' switch to.
A bond is carry my knowledge. Shine down.
Again, I'm building up burst for a little bit later. Okay, I think I should be good.
Shines eternal. Illusion shattered. You no this A bond is strong. I'll settle this. Roll, roll, roll. Make yourselves a room. Hey. Get with me. The Temple of Wisdom. Stay put. Shine down. Now you shall perish. Hey, go away. Out of my way. This way. Committed to memory. Make yourselves a room.
So close.
You play. You're up. There is no escape. The bond is strong. Go get you. Share my knowledge. This way.
I was gonna say, did I kill them both?
Illusion shattered.
Okay, no. Okay. So Ren's burst is all the way up. Yay. Not that it really matters. Anyway, second half. This one's a little interesting.
Strike a blow.
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds
Time to shine.
I will have order. Solidified.
One with wind and cloud.
Lightning, echoing song.
Order guide you.
Blazing delight.
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds come.
Stabilize. This is order.
Strike a pose.
Solidified.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
I will have order.
One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Got it.
The wind knows me.
Okay, and alright, so we got 1 star there, that's fine. Alright, so now that we cleared out that one, we need to clear out the next one. So this is kind of ridiculous because this is not what this was yesterday.
There is no escape. Don't be scared. Stand with me. Make yourselves a room.
Yeah, initial attacks on that are freaking a pain in the ass.
Torn to oblivion. Illusion shattered. You play. You're up. I'll settle this. Roll. Temple of Wisdom.
Tulpa definitely is a pain in the ass. Because you don't want to be in front of the damn thing. Because it'll just frickin' wipe you out.
Bond is strong.
Like, seriously, like, that's exactly what would happen. Like,
Shine down. Make yourselves a room. Go away. Out of my way. Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion.
okay, need that.
Committed to memory.
Alright. Doing good. Doing good. That wasn't too terrible. We're still in the time frame. Turn around. Shield. Bring in this. Do this.
Into the wind.
Do that.
As one with
There.
cloud.
This is order. Stabilize.
Have a little bit of fun with Klee. And their bursts play out a little bit.
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds come. Foretold.
Solidify.
Where the eternal
Order guide you.
into the wind. Wind and
Not
cloud.
done yet.
You kind of missed it. That's how quick this goes. And you get 3 stars on the end. So that's quite literally the team I used. And I feel like this worked a little bit better once I got up here. Yeah. So that's how you get 3 stars on that one. It is a pain in the ass to get up here. I know some people struggle with the, and I did, the very first part where you had to fight the Electro Manifestation and the, what do you call that? Is it the PMC? No, PMA. PMA. I always forget what it's called. So the PMA is I believe that's what it's called. The construct. Yeah, PMA. Yeah, perpetual mechanical array. So chamber 1 is just terrible. Chamber 2. Chamber 2 is doable. I feel like Chamber 2 is actually not too bad as long as you have enough damage output. It doesn't matter what teams you really bring in. If I really wanted to go ham on this and get 3 stars, I think I did fine with what I had set up for the most part for the second half, but I would probably take Furina out and put an Electro character in. Simply because Overload breaks stuff, like shields and Geo stuff. So I'd probably do that. And I'd probably put Furina in the first half, just so I can have a lot more damage output with hyperbloom. And I'd probably take out, trying to think who I'd take out, probably Kuki or Yaoyao, one of those two. I know a lot of people would be like, how dare you take out my precious Kuki? I'm not one of those. I don't care what you guys think about Kuki. She's okay. Okay, I finally used her here. I do think it's kind of funny that the team that I end up taking, I barely have anybody from like Mondstadt. So, and that's, or even should I say version 1 characters. I do have a couple, or 3 to be precise. So hopefully that gives you some insight on how I did it. Elemental Mastery is definitely the main stat to take into consideration when trying to deal with this Spiral Abyss, mainly because it is the stat that does reactions. The biggest problem with it is that you need to like deal with those reactions accordingly and get lucky in getting those as your stats. If you can't get those stats, what's the point? Right? What is the point of being able to uh, attempt to try to clear it and you don't have the stats for it? And that's why I shot for Elemental Mastery with Kuki, because I don't think there's any way in hell I would have been able to clear it without Elemental Mastery build for her. With that specific set. I mean, I could have probably used something else, but again, I was already dead set on that set. So, because I know a lot of people build Kuki differently. And just out of kind of curiosity, while I'm here, let's take a look at Kuki. So Kuki, artifacts, and then if you go to the set filter, because I'm using the Flower of Paradise Lost, the number 1 set that is recommended is the Gilded Dream set. I'm using Flower of Paradise Lost. I'm not even using what people recommend for her, which is fine. I just farmed up a lot of different sets, and originally when I was doing this, I was trying to use the Dendro Traveler. This was absolutely hilarious. My C6 Dendro Traveler, and I had to swap out the artifacts to give them to somebody else because I didn't want to use them. But now I'm like left without anything, so I'm feeling kind of empty. But then again, what else am I supposed to do, right? So, thanks again for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and gave you a little bit of insight of exactly how to deal with the problems. And I understand during that second half of Chamber 3, you couldn't really see a whole lot. It's because obstruction of vision from Kazuha. So, but you saw how quickly it kind of took care of the enemies. It's kind of ridiculous. Klee is definitely an interesting character to run through the Battle Abyss. Uh, if you have her, use her. If you don't, I'd probably recommend somebody else. Maybe instead of using Kazuha and her, maybe use someone like Ayaka if you have Ayaka or Hutao. Um, that way, you have a little bit more damage output. You could also go with a freeze comp if you really wanted to. But again, the biggest tricky part about that is getting from the beginning of floor 12 all the way to that floor, or to that chamber 3. Because chamber 3 is where it's at. Okay? So hopefully you understand that. And sometimes just getting there is the challenge. During the last cycle, it was quite literally I would get to chamber 1 and I think it was like first half, and I would just get obliterated every time I turned around. And if I did clear it, it was just like, oh, you cleared it with like 1 star, and I'm just like, okay, great. And then I get to the second half of Chamber 1, and it was still okay, but it was just like I don't get anything off of this. Like I didn't see value in it, and this is by far the easiest Spiral Abyss in a very, very long time. And a lot of people have made note of it because we have no lectors, no heralds, no abyss mages, no whopper flowers, no wee nuts. You know, we have like literally most of the annoying enemies are gone, and that is great because then it's just a pure DPS check instead of I have to be super strategic on how to deal with this stuff. I'm also happy we don't have Rift Hounds. Oh my god, I fucking hate Rift Hounds. If you use a shield, you hate Rift Hounds. Okay? So, yep. And that is Spiral Abyss in a nutshell. I don't know if I'm going to have any more Spiral Abyss videos. This is probably my one and only. It has been a challenge for me for such a long time that I'm happy that I was finally able to clear it. I wish I had a in-game like record of exactly how long I've been playing, but there isn't one. So, like I said, I've been playing day 2, and I also play on PC. Okay, with a controller. So I'm not mouse and keyboard. So take that as you will. If you're playing on possibly PS5, it might be a lot easier. Or if you have better specs for PC, it might be easier. I don't know. Or it could be harder. I don't know. It's really hard to say. Um, I've come a long way with doing this. So, and I'm doing a Midwestern goodbye. I probably shouldn't. So, Midwestern goodbye is when you can't say goodbye. You don't know how to end it properly. So, thanks again for watching. Till next time.